The Filipino Clash, Nonito Donaire Jr. is back and he's world champion once again at the age of 42. But only it's the interim title for the WBA organization. Nonito Donaire Jr. has quickly re-entered the title picture after a nearly 2-year hiatus from boxing. Though his comeback fight ended anticlimactically, Donaire secured the interim World Boxing Association for the bantamweight title by defeating Andres Campos of Chile by a technical unanimous decision on Saturday night in the US, while Sunday morning, June 15, 2025, Philippine time, the fight held in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the bout was stopped 1 minute into the 9th round due to a clash of heads that left Donaire with a cut above his right eye, impairing his vision. At the time of the stoppage, the scorecards read 87-84, 87-84, and 88-83, all in favor of the Filipino Clash, Nonito Donaire. With this victory, Donaire snapped a 2-fight losing streak and improved his record to 43 wins, 8 losses, with 23 victories by knockouts. In his post-fight interview, Donaire stated, and I quote, "Sorry that this happened." Donaire expressed regarding the early stoppage, and I quote, "I wanted to show my fighting heart and warrior spirit to the people of Argentina. Next time, I will give it all and do my best. Today, this is my victory and also Argentina's victory for this opportunity." And I quote. The win marks Donaire's first since December of 2021 when he defended his WBC bantamweight title against fellow Filipino Raymart Gaballo. His subsequent fights included a second-round knockout loss to Naoya the Monster Inoue back in June of 2022 and a lopsided decision upset loss to Alexandro Santiago of Mexico in July of 2023 in the undercard of the Terence Crawford vs. Errol Spence super fight. Donaire, born in the Philippines and raised in Las Vegas, hadn't fought for almost 2 years, largely due to a planned but ultimately cancelled showdown with fellow legend Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez of Nicaragua and a recovery period after a car crash last March. Donaire's return against Campos, who is a former flyweight contender, wasn't without its early challenges. A head clash in the first round bothered Campos, and Donaire himself was clipped by a headbutt later in the round. However, the 42-year-old quickly shook off any ring rust by the second round, effectively utilizing his right hand and left hook, which is a signature punch of Nonito Donaire Jr. The killer left hook, although he wasn't able to land it with authority just like he used to back in his glory days. Despite Campos having moments of success, particularly in the 4th round, Donaire maintained control, consistently rushing the action and landing effective body shots. Another headbutt in the 6th round led to a warning for both fighters by the referee, while in the 8th round, Donaire was briefly thrown to the canvas, but responded with a strong right before the bell. The fight ultimately concluded in the 9th round when yet another clash of heads caused the severe cut to Donaire's right eyelid, prompting the ringside physician to advise the referee to stop the bout. The victory positions Donaire as the mandatory challenger for the primary WBA bantamweight title, currently held by Antonio Vargas, who has a record of 19 wins with 1 loss, 11 victories by KOs, and he's set to defend his belt against Daigo Higa of Japan on July 30, and the fight will be held in the hometown or the home country of Daigo Higa, in the land of the rising sun, Japan. Regardless of what his future holds in the ring, Donaire's legacy is already cemented. He is widely considered a future international boxing Hall of Famer, a sure ballot Hall of Famer, number one, no questions, having held championships in the flyweight, bantamweight, junior featherweight, and featherweight divisions. The 118-pound division has often been his sweet spot, where he made history in November of 2018 by defeating Ryan Barnett to become the oldest bantamweight title holder, a record he broke again in May of 2021 against Nordin Ubali. Despite recent setbacks, a team decision was made last year for Donaire to make one more run in the professional boxing. The opportunity to headline the WBA's quote-unquote KO to drugs event provided the perfect platform for his comeback, even if the cut-induced ending prevented him from showcasing his full arsenal. Also, Donaire added in an interview, and I quote, "I will always strive to do better." Donaire assured his fans, and I quote, "Without you, I am nothing." Alright, the Filipino Flash is still determined. At 42, and still looking to make one more title run. Although he is no longer in his prime, it is obvious that his hand speed has been diminished, and I noticed in his fight versus Campos, Nonito's punching power is not as deadly as it used to be. I remember back when he destroyed guys like Victor Chinyan, Fernando Montiel, and Jorge Arce. He also no longer has the same footwork during his glory days, though I think Donaire still has a pretty good chance to become a world champion. So in my own honest opinion, and after his victory against Campos, the possibility is now closer than ever before. Now going back to his punching power and hand speed, what I said earlier, I think we have to put into consideration the 2-year layoff of Donaire, because activity matters in boxing. Much more now that he's 42, he needs to be more active. The recovery of an old fighter is very different compared to when you're younger. So maybe it was his inactivity was the reason why his timing was a bit off. It might be due to his ring rust. I'm sure Donaire will go back to the drawing board and will make some adjustments, and he will do everything in the best of his abilities to try to bring back his sharpness in the ring. The Campos fight, although it was a title eliminator and it was for the WBA interim bantamweight belt, it can be considered as a tune-up fight for Donaire, because whether we admit it or not, Campos is not on the same level of Nonito Donaire, and there's a reason why Donaire chose Campos. Now, a prime Donaire would have knocked out Campos easy. Now the question is, does Nonito still have what it takes to beat a Vargas or a Higa? I think yes. That is, if Nonito will stay focused, and he should bring back his hand speed, his accuracy, his punching power, his jabs, his footwork, and of course, his ring IQ. Throw accurate jabs, uppercuts, and body shot. I think if Donaire can bring back even just the version of a Donaire who defeated or beat the brakes out of Nordin Ubali back in 2021, I think he has a pretty good chance to be the winner of Vargas versus Higa and become a bantamweight champion once again. Although the youth is no longer in his side, he can still use his extensive experience over this new breed of champions in the 180-pound weight class. Now if ever Nonito will lose in his next fight, I think he should retire and ride off the sunset, because he has done it all and he has nothing more to prove in the sport of boxing. Thanks for watching, fighting boxing fans.